Hi, I'm Brooke Bowersock with Align Pilates Studios in Austin, Texas. I'm going to be breaking down Ferris wheel using the roll down bar on the wall tower today. I hope you enjoy. I'm here with Mairead. Let's get started. You're going to lay down on your back with your head towards the tower. I've got the roll down bar sprung from the highest eye hook on these side poles of the tower. I'm going to take the bar and hand it to Mairead, and she's going to take her legs over the bar and hook the bar behind her knees. It's important that you keep your knees bent from this point on. And so I'll say that a few times. You're going to never straighten your legs in this exercise. Okay, take your hands to the poles behind you. And you want to have your hands a little bit up the poles so that you're making this 90-degree angle with your arms. You're going to push the poles in, draw your elbows in and your shoulders down. Okay, we're going to break this exercise. It's called the Ferris wheel, and it's got multiple other names too. So if you know it by a different name, that's fine. We're going to break it down in a way that I have found it to be successful to teach to a mixed level class or to somebody who might just be getting started. So we're going to start by just taking your toes down to the mat. Tap the mat, bend your knees in, and let your hips roll off of the mat a little bit, and then roll back down. We're letting this be nice and easy. So knees are coming in. The springs from the trapeze bar are helping her lift her hips and then roll back down. We'll do a few more. So I always start with about 8 of these, letting everybody, if it's a group class, experience this before we start to add some building blocks to progress this to the full exercise. Okay, rest. And so I'll let her rest totally, but keep your legs bent. And you can draw your knees in. It's nice to let everything just kind of sway. You can relax your arms too between our rounds. Upper body is going to be working. Really, total body is going to be working by the full progression. So bringing arms back in, she's pushing the poles away, elbows in, shoulders down. We're going to step 2. Take your toes down to the mat, bend your knees in. This time she's gonna let her hips roll up to where she's really standing on her shoulder blades. From there, she's gonna push her knees forward over her hips, knees come back in, and then she rolls down. So quite the add-on. We're gonna tap down, knees bend in. She's gonna roll up to her shoulder blades. She's gonna push her knees forward over her hips. Knees come back in, and then she's rolling down. Push the poles away as you roll down. Tap, knees bend in, lift your hips, knees push forward over hips, knees come back down, and roll. We're gonna do it 2 more times. See if you can push your knees just a little more forward over your hips. Little more. Yes, now bend your knees back in and roll down. 1 more. So notice she's not just a little bit up, right? She's on her shoulder blades. Those are like her feet here. Bend your knees in and roll back down. Let's rest at the bottom of this one. Let your arms go. That might be a nice place for you to continue to work, right? So keep building that skill until you're ready to take it to the next one. Here we go. Hands go to the poles. All the same setup. Elbows are in, shoulders down, pushing the poles away. She's going to tap down. Knees will draw in towards your chest. Hips lift up. This time knees go forward over her hips, and she's gonna let her knees continue to shoot across the room until she lands in her bridge. Now she'll roll down. Nice job. We'll do it again. Knees bend in. Yep, hips roll off. Knees shoot forward. She keeps shooting those knees forward until she lands in her bridge. Roll down. She's landing nice and soft. If that's not what's happening for you at home, that's okay. You'll start to work on landing a little softer, letting these springs help you. Good, roll down. Let's do 1 more. Bend in, but what's really working to help are her glutes and hamstrings. So she's pushing her hips up as her knees go down. Good, roll down. We're gonna rest. Let everything sway. So there's 1 more piece to this full exercise. Keep working that if that felt like a good place for you to stay and continue to work. Otherwise, we're going full. Okay, so hands are back, same setup. Toes tap, knees bend in. You're gonna roll your hips up. This time she's gonna go down into her bridge, but she's gonna lightly tap, then pop right back up again. Nice job. Knees bend in and roll down. We'll do that again. She taps. Knees bend in, hips roll off. She's gonna shoot her knees forward, keep shooting. Her toes are gonna tap. She's gonna lift that whole shape up. Knees bend in and roll down. 1 more. Okay, here we go. Tap, knees bend, hips lift, tap down, lift up. Good, knees bend in, and that's okay, right? That's what happens. This is a super challenging exercise, but as long as you take your time to build that skill set that you need in little baby steps along the way, and then you could just keep continuing to work that full Ferris wheel. You did great. Okay, thank you for joining.